We are going to begin with the massive operation to raise the Sewol-ho ferry, which sank nearly 3 years ago in one of the worst maritime disasters in Korea's history. Workers have made significant progress overnight, but there has been a slight delay, we hear, in the plan to get the vessel above the waterline, which is no easy task considering the sheer size and weight of the vessel. Let's get an update on the operation from our Shin Se-min, who is on the ground for us. Se-min, give us the latest, including the weather, which, as you mentioned, is a very important factor here.
Mark, here at the Paengmok-hang Harbor, the nearest point of land to the actual salvaging operation site, we're seeing a bit of a more traffic with some visitors dropping by. The weather seems to be holding up in terms of the weather, as I said, but we have some light rains and some wind in the earlier hours of the morning. But the weather doesn't seem to have affected the salvaging operation too much. But there's been a change to the previous plan. Although they'd wanted to pull the ferry up by 11 in the morning, which was an hour ago, the plan now is to achieve that goal sometime this afternoon or possibly later this evening. But that's only provided the weather holds. In terms of the progress so far, the Oceans Ministry confirmed early this morning that the right side of the ferry had been brought up above the waterline for the first time in nearly 3 years, revealing its rusty and scratched surface. This is, we have to understand, a monumental task, bringing a 145-meter long, over 6,800-ton ferry up from the seabed. Such a dangerous and complex operation can only be done when the sea is calm, with waves under 1 meter and the wind speed below 10 meters per second. Mark?
Yes, well, we're looking at the video as you're speaking to us, Se-min, so we can see kind of what progress they've made. But give us more about the timeline for the rest of the day. Providing the weather doesn't get too bad and the conditions at sea stay fairly okay, are we expecting to see the vessel come out of the water in the coming hours?
Well, that's at least the hope, so at least for now. They're already behind plans, as I've said before, as they've previously predicted that they would be done with the procedure of pulling the vessel out of the water level by 11 a.m. this morning. Even so, the government has set a deadline of Friday, which is tomorrow, for the completion of the first stage of the salvaging operation that involves placing the ferry onto a semi-submersible ship for transport to Mokpo Newport, some 90 kilometers away from the actual site. Now, Friday is the last day of the March neap tide, when the gap between the high and low tides is at its minimum. So if all goes as planned, the revised plan that is, the recovered ship will be placed at Mokpo Newport so workers can undertake a search for the 9 bodies that are still missing after the ferry sinking 3 years ago. And hopefully they'll also get some answers as to what exactly was the cause of this terrible man-made disaster that is still so ingrained in the minds of many Korean people. Mark?
Yes, certainly memories of that day come back to mind when we see the ship being partially lifted out of the water there. We hope for some good news throughout the day today, and hopefully they can get the Sewol-ho out of the water and moving to that port. Now, that all